Hey everyone, welcome back to our ClearVoice Spotlight series. My name is Joanna Bowser and I'm the Director of Marketing here at ClearVoice, and I'm here today with Sam Neeser, our Director of Service Delivery. Hey Sam.
Hey, Joanna and everybody. Good to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for hopping on with us today. I have some questions for you in this conversation, but don't worry, they're going to be easy. So I'm going to go ahead and start with I'm curious today, Director of Service Delivery, what does that mean in the world of ClearVoice?
Yeah, great question. Number of different things, a bit multifaceted. It has everything to do with obviously the delivery of the service in content for us, in particular, the production of it with our freelance network. But it also oversees that freelance network, the growth of it, the engagement of it and with it. And then a third part to this is working alongside our customer delivery as well. So the director of service delivery is more entitled into the production of all of the content here at ClearVoice, facilitating really high quality content on behalf of the customers through the usage of our freelance network. And my job is to make sure that that is all done in a timely fashion from a qualified and quality standpoint, using our great people here at ClearVoice to get it done.
Awesome, cool. I think it's interesting because your practice area, if you will, oversees like making sure our customers get great content, but also making sure that our freelancer network is not just full like of great talent, but also vetted and also they're getting work too, so they stay engaged and stay interested. And so I just want to kind of highlight that here in the conversation. So you kind of have two customer sets, if you will. You've got our buyers and then our freelancers. I'm curious sort of how you balance the two of those groups of people within the scope of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, supply and demand is the everyday case there, and both of those are fluid, right? We have a fluid network of freelancers that come and go that we get to know over a period of time. Freelancers that have been here for 5+ years that we really have been able to lean into, but then some have gone on to do other things, get full-time jobs, work with other firms, or just they're done freelancing, and so that's a consistently fluid network that we have to make sure we're pairing properly to the customer side. And we definitely have a few tricks up our sleeve in making sure that there's longevity in our network, and there is what we like to call kind of our freelance loyalty that remains true to ClearVoice. And a lot of that is within the work that is done internally on our side.
So when you think about how you serve, and you can think about this from the buyer or the freelancer, but how do you serve our buyers? Like, what is like when you think about sort of like being of service on the service delivery side, like what does that look like to you? I know you've talked about sort of what you do, but like what's your philosophy and your ethos behind that?
Yeah, well, I work through my people, so I want to talk about them and kind of how they are able to best service the customers, and a lot of that is very high editorial standards, backgrounds in content and the production of content, whether it's our internal employees or through the leveraging of heavily expert freelancers. That's what the customers come to buy, and they want to see quality right away. So that's a really important piece for us, and alleviation of talent resourcing, talent staffing. We have a vast network of individuals that can be agile, and so a big part of my role is ensuring that we can match efficiently, properly, and of the highest quality to the customer's preferences and standards, leveraging different tactics and really high quality platform integrations that we've been able to use and leverage, like our talent network, and just kind of the growth of that talent pool that we've built. Does that answer the question?
It does. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, no, that's super interesting. And I definitely I know that your team is really the heart and soul of Clear Voice and in that respect, as far as delivering what we promise to our customers. And so I'm curious, Sam, a lot of your work does rely on freelancers and fractional resources. And I think that's been a lot of your career, right? Like you've kind of like it's been your world, even since you've entered the workforce, is working with freelance teams and building them and deploying them. And I'm curious, as you think about the future of work and the future of sort of where work is going, if you have any thoughts just about like where the industry is going or where things are going with respect to working with freelancers and contract workers ongoingly.
Yeah, really interesting. I think in even the last 5 years that has changed and become more of a norm. So I've kind of experienced change as we've been developing ClearVoice and changing alongside those tides. Obviously, COVID brought a really big opportunity for the growth of working behind a screen and what freelancing can offer. It shed a lot of light into potential supplemental paths of income for individuals. I think that's going to continue. I know that there's a lot of individuals out there that want to have a number of different incomes coming through, and that's becoming more and more popular. You see on TikToks people talking about drop shipping and all kinds of unique way and setting up an Etsy shop. All of these different types of new ways to potentially generate income through technology. I think this fits right in there. And a big kind of tide that I'm seeing change is almost conflicting with artificial intelligence. We have artificial intelligence supplementing and supporting the delivery and the context of content, but there's a big need for industry experts, and there's a big need for people who have been in certain fields that can contribute. And I think you're seeing that more and more to where potentially a generalist isn't always going to cut it in terms of a freelance need. And that's where I think we've been able to thrive is, finding nurses, finding doctors. And I think the workforce outside of freelancing is potentially more open to that extra supplemental income, knowing that they have the skills and the talent to bring that expertise onto customers who are willing to pay them for it.
Sure, got that. And I think so. You think about the way that the content marketing landscape has changed. One thing you mentioned is this sort of AI versus human expert, the like Google Eat algorithm favoring the human byline or the human writer, the byline, the expert. What other what other trends have you noticed in the past 5 to 10 years in your world and content marketing that you would that you're really that kind of make you lean in and make you sort of say, "Hey, I'm really interested in where this is going to go over the next 5 years."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's crazy to me that YouTube is ever present, and some of the some of the youngest made millionaires right now are coming from YouTube as a content marketing service. And so, what I've seen definitely within the last 5 years, and probably longer, is just a change in tide from copywriting to new forms of media, whether it's obviously podcasting. We had the birth of podcasting and Spotify, video content through YouTube, and again, TikTok, referencing that a second time, and just other platforms that are going to continually become available for the sake of content, whether that is individual content or that's content on behalf of a company. It's becoming more and more present in individuals' everyday lives, which is makes it really important to be aware of it, understand the values that it can bring, and the results that copy and other types of content media can potentially provide.
Sure. And inside of that, I mean, there's a lot happening, right? There's video, there's long form, there's written, there's audio, there's podcasting. How would you encourage a freelancer to set themselves up for success in the landscape of all of that content based on your experience?
Interesting. Yeah. I think it's kind of dual pronged here. You want to obviously become familiar in more than just writing at this point. I think is a big piece. Get familiar with the tools and the resources that you might need to be able to be agile and get into those different types of media should you be asked to. But writing and content in writing, I think, is always going to be a player there. And so within that and within kind of where our specialty is, I think you really need to become an expert at something like I was referring to earlier. A lot, it can be what you've done in your past, it can be what you're currently doing. Just making sure that you're an expert in something. Number two, you want to have fun in this role. You want to take on freelance opportunities that serve you as well. So find something that you're really passionate about, that you can have fun researching. Some projects may take time, and you want to enjoy that time that you're contributing. So those two things are going to go a long way to a successful freelancing career, at least in terms of the writing side.
Got it. And how do you like? I know a lot of freelancers kind of like, I call it the hungry hippo method of taking work. Have you seen freelancers where they take on like overextend themselves, take on too much work, and sort of what are the detriments of that? Because I think there's an important lesson probably to be learned from you've probably seen that.
Yeah, I think the main thing is good work begets more work. That's a big theme that we've seen. A lot of freelancers can overextend themselves on projects for the sake of adding more and more clients to their book of business. And while that is good, sometimes you bite off more than you can chew, and it's a detriment to the quality of the content. So take on as much as you can. If you're freelancing and you have a part-time job or a full-time job on top of that, really be diligent and give yourself a kind of a step back, an overview, a bird's eye view of, okay, what can I actually handle? What clients are my priority, and what am I going after, and why? Instead of the other approach, was sometimes is just grab as many clients as you can and hope that 6 months down the line you can retain them all. That's
Sure.
not going to lead to recurring work. That's not going to lead to good experiences. You want to make sure that you're there for the clients that are paying you.
Sure, got it. So again, a true testament to the breadth of your practice area. I just want to ask you some questions about the buyer side, the customer side. If you could fix anything that the customers do like wrong with content marketing, what would you fix, or what would you say? Hey, like here's some landmines to avoid.
It's always changing. I think number one is making sure that you're going in with a plan of what you want to do and why. Content that is complementary of other content is first and foremost key, and making sure that you are understanding that you are potentially purchasing or diving into a relationship where you have experts that can help. While you have a specific brand and you have this yearly plan, and that's great. You're purchasing assistance in terms of what your content path can look like, and these are individuals that live in the field and understand the trends, and so leaning on them is a good thing, even if sometimes it might clash with some of the brand developments that you've had before entering the partnership. So being open to a strategy that might not always be completely yours is sometimes good.
For sure. Cool. Well, Sam, thanks so much for hopping on with me today. I really appreciate it. It was great. I actually learn something new every time I talk to somebody in one of these, so it's been a real joy. For those of you that listened in, we have a bunch of other employee spotlights on our YouTube channel. Go check them out. And if you need content for your business, come visit us at www.clearvoice.com.